Hey guys, it's Sage. Today I am at the Ontario Science Centre and I am super duper excited because I love science, and so I'm very excited about all the things that we're going to see today. Let's go! So in the Science Centre there are a bunch of different areas and we kind of just went wherever the day took us. There's this kid playing this amazing piano, so have a listen. There were so many things to see and do, but there were also so many kids there. I think there were multiple schools on a field trip. So if you're gonna go, maybe go during the summer when there's not a school field trip, because there were kids running around absolutely everywhere. They had some really cool vintage stuff like this record player, which I thought was really cool. And it was just fun seeing everything. These kids left their bubble tea here and it made me so sad. This is the cutest little restaurant area. I want to go to school for kinesiology, so this next area was super intriguing to me. I love learning all about the different things in this room. These were real skeletons and one of them was over 8 feet. It was super cool to me to read about. This is some old hockey gear versus new hockey gear, and I can't imagine how they played with the old gear because it definitely was not safe at all. And I love this whole skateboarding section. There was 2 of them from like the 1950s and 1960s that I literally wanted to take home with me. They were the cutest thing I've ever seen. Then I tried to do some rock climbing or bouldering and it was so much harder than it looks. No way, I wanted to make that one. I feel like I'm gonna pass out. It's too much work. This next section was all about athletics, and it was interesting because I used to be really into track and field, so it was really cool reading all about the Olympics and I mean some not so good things that happened. These outfits were fire. This had the coolest thing ever that I've never heard of, so pause and read it, but it's literally the coolest thing. I was so intrigued. This is my dad and cousin racing on who can row across the lake. I wish I would have filmed more of this room because there was even an entire elephant heart, and this was basically a human body sliced up into portions, and I don't know, I love learning about this kind of stuff. That's what I want to go to university for, so I thought it was super interesting. This I was worried about because I didn't know how scary it would be. Literally just a glass room with a mirror and a light that made it look like it went forever. The next room was all about the animals. I loved looking at all of them. There was turtles and geckos and lizards and frogs and snakes, and I just loved it. Some of these frogs and toads I actually have near my house, and we have an American toad that lives right by my pool. It's the cutest thing. I go check on him every morning. This guy was awesome too. One thing about me is I absolutely love snakes, so this was so fun for me to just look at this guy and see him going about his life. He was so insanely adorable and I loved getting a really up close look at him. There was this massive tortoise and it says he's a banana addict, and it was just crazy how huge they are. I could definitely see them living with dinosaurs. There were some of the coolest frogs I've ever seen. These ones were yellow, and it's just weird because you can't see their eyes, so it's like they don't have a face, and it's a little bit unsettling, but I think they're super cool. And these next guys I haven't stopped thinking about since I went. I am in love with them. They're little aliens, and I am just completely obsessed. Their color, their sheen, the way that the blue is like reflective and shiny, I am just so beyond obsessed. But then there were also some other blue ones, and they were different, so they were also weird because like you can't see their face, and I don't know, that just kind of trips me out. Like, it's like there's no eyes, and they're literally like aliens. I don't know, it's like crazy. In here there was some coral reef, and that was interesting to read about. And then this next section was basically the population and number of species, and it was interesting seeing the world population just consistently going up quickly. I've been loving crystals recently, and so this next section I loved. It was just like natural rocks and sediments and crystals, and it was so cool looking at them all and just seeing all the different kinds. This one was crazy because it was a bunch of stuff put together. But I think my favorite one of all was sulfur, which is that super bright yellow one. I've never seen it in person before, and it was just so cool to me. I would love to get some and like have it in my room because I think it's really cool. And that's my birthstone amethyst. But yeah, I really enjoyed looking at all of these. This one, basically you stood on a rotating surface and then you spun the wheel, and basically the air moving would spin you either way. It ended up working for me. I don't think I caught it on video, but basically it spins you because of the air. I remember as a kid I was obsessed with this floor because it's actually interactive as to where you step. It moves the water and the fish, and I just could never understand how it worked, and I found it so cool. We are in a sound absorption room, soundproof, and you can see all the foam on the walls, but I want to test how different the audio is in here. This next section was all about space. There was things about the stars and the galaxies. There was a lot of images, and it was really interesting to see. It was very space themed. Pretend like you're the Little Mermaid. Go. Sing Under the Sea.
Under the sea.
That's who's that? The lobster? That was us pretending like we're in the Little Mermaid, and now that I'm thinking about it, I think it might have been the crab. I don't think there's a lobster, but I don't know. All I know is that his name is Sebastian, but I have no idea what animal he was. But this was cool. It was like a little underwater exploration. This was the funniest thing I saw there all day. I found it really interesting that they have this Atlantis thing here, considering that Atlantis is not real and it's a science place. But this was the last thing that we did. This pearl was just super cute and very Little Mermaid themed, I think. Okay guys, that is the end of today's vlog. It was super fun seeing all the different sciencey things and how things work in this world and biology and chemistry, and it was super interesting. But yeah, that is the end. Thank you guys for coming along with me. I'll see you next time. Bye!